first couple of years Dane and I were married, I think our natural default was to blend the lifestyles we had both known before marriage, mostly the things we had taken from our families. It wasn't until we owned our first home and started to think about kids that we began to rethink what we were eating and using in our home or on our bodies. We began with changing what we were eating, gradually making changes as we became more aware of better options. I have to pause before I go more into this. I had a lot of anxiety around change for so many years. Something simple felt more complicated than it needed to. As I dealt with the anxiety, I felt the easier it was for me to take an honest look at my life in every category. Why was I making the choices I was making? What thoughts were behind the process? Once I became more aware, the more power I felt to make the changes I wanted, and to challenge myself to make choices that would move me closer to a life with convictions. Working through the anxiety I used to feel when I was overwhelmed was key for me to have the capacity to take in more information and research so many things that have benefited our lives. When I was crippled by anxiety, I couldn't make better choices. I was stuck repeating what I was used to, what I thought was safe, or at least what felt safe. It only felt safe because it was familiar, but now I can make fully present choices. Before having kids, we had 2 cats. They were my first babies. One of them was dealing with some pain, and I had to take him to the vet. I was a mess. I remember the feeling of such overwhelm and anxiety when I brought him in. I listened to what she said and I was crying, and I had so much anxiety that I had a difficult time following what she was saying. I remember thinking, I don't want to be completely in the dark when it comes to my kids' health. I want to be able to make fully present decisions, leaning into health, not simply coping with denial. After we made some changes to the foods we were eating, we moved on to cleaning products, then onto every product we ran out of. I would use up what we had, then I would read to find better alternatives. Breaking it down to be one product at a time, one room at a time, or one category at a time made it less overwhelming. Over the past 10 years of this journey, I have seen the power of knowledge. I believe God fills in the gaps of our weaknesses, but I also believe that He leads us to information or answers and partners with us in our walk. There are times when emergency requires different methods than all natural, and that is okay. But there is also so much power in prevention with living a natural lifestyle. I have personally seen God use both in my life and in my kids' lives. I want to be the best steward of my life and family that I can be, and I believe part of that is laying down pride and working through anxiety to take an honest look at the choices we make and simply do our best with what we know. He will connect us with what we need when we need it, but we also need to do our part. If you have been putting off going more natural in your choices, I would highly recommend considering it. Start somewhere, whether it's reading about it or changing one product at a time if that's all you can handle. One product at a time is a snowball effect that will make an impact over time. And eventually, you'll know more than you thought you would, and you will have a different lifestyle. I'm going to go through the most common categories and areas to switch out with non-toxic replacements. If this is new information to you, please know that you can take it in small steps that lead to great impact. One change, replacing one product at a time, makes it doable and less overwhelming. This is how I changed our lifestyle 10 years ago. We started with our food, cutting seed oils, processed foods with a long list of ingredients. We looked deeper into what we should avoid and why. Then we made the changes. Then we moved on to cleaning products, and gradually, as we used up other products, I would look for better options. I remember when I first became aware of all of the toxic ingredients, it was so overwhelming. I remember asking a friend where to start, but the more I read, the more I learned, the more it made sense, and the easier it became to make better choices. Number 1, swap out cleaning products. This was the first place I started because I felt the strongest about getting the most obviously chemical-filled products out of my home. Once I knew better, I wanted to do better, so that is where I started. You're going to want to replace chemical-heavy cleaners with natural alternatives like vinegar, baking soda, or Castile soap. I love using Thieves All-Purpose Household Cleaner or Castile soap with drops of lemon or orange essential oil. They're effective, surprisingly affordable, and they cut down on indoor air pollution from harsh fumes as well as toxic residue. Consider everything you are purchasing for the kitchen, soap, dishwasher detergent before purchasing. Take a minute to read the ingredients. Does it have artificial fragrance or perfume? That's a no for me. Fragrance weakens the immune system and disrupts our hormones. Number 2, ditch plastic for natural materials. Trade plastic storage containers for glass or stainless steel. For our kids' plates, we use stainless steel, and for our bowls, we use wooden bowls that I found while thrifting. You can use bamboo or wooden cutting boards rather than plastic ones. You'll want to beware of toxic coating as well. Think about what you are using to cook with. What is leaking into all of the foods that you're cooking? We use all cast iron or stainless steel, with the exception of the Our Place pan and Caraway Dutch oven I got secondhand. Number 3, bring in live plants. So this is an added benefit. A lot of people will probably think this is optional. I have started collecting plants because I have felt the mood, the emotional, mental health benefit since coming out of a few years of trauma. I have a new sense of joy taking care of these things, and I'm not in survival mode, and so I have the capacity, but I've also felt such a difference while having them in our home. And if you look into the benefits, there's actually a long list of benefits in addition to plants helping with cleaning the air and adding to your mood. So you're going to add indoor plants like snake plants, pothos. Pothos are one of my number one, or peace lilies. They filter air naturally, boost oxygen, and connect you with the outdoors, which actually has a lot of benefit. They are good for your mood and amazing for your mental health. Number 4, upgrade your water. If you want to go all in, we have a whole house filter, and gosh, it makes such a difference. I used to step out of the shower with red blotchy skin. It was itchy and dry and just felt really irritated and slightly tingly. I have none of that. We can drink our water. I know that my babies are taking baths in really good quality water instead of thinking that it might be irritating their eczema even more. So this is a really expensive but also important and valuable step to getting toxins out of your home if you're wanting to invest in your health. A simple countertop filter works if you're not ready for a whole house system. Use a stainless steel water bottle. Drinking bottled water exposes you to the chemicals that leak from the plastic into your system. I've also seen some shower head filters that you can add on to your shower head. I'm not sure how effective they are, but I know that a lot of people that I've talked to and seen in this crunchy lifestyle have enjoyed them and seen a difference. So if you're looking for an option, there is a variety. Number 5, switch to natural fabrics when possible. This can be difficult and very pricey. I try to be mindful of this when I am buying clothes, especially for my kids. When I buy secondhand, I will look for organic material or cotton. I will avoid very obviously synthetic materials like the fleece onesies that you see in a lot of kids' clothing. Those are made of plastic, so I will avoid anything similar. Look for cotton or linen when shopping for bedding and towels as well. They breathe better, feel nicer, and you skip the microplastics. Number 6, rethink personal care. Trade synthetic body care, skin care, hair care, and other products for ones with minimal pronounceable ingredients. Coconut oil, shea butter, or essential oils. I have been making a handful of skin and hair products for years now. They're more affordable and way more effective than products that I used to use and used to spend a lot of money on. Our bodies just work so much better with real ingredients. One thing I love about this lifestyle is that when your products are filled with truly clean and beneficial ingredients, you'll find that some products are great for multiple purposes. I'm using my Thieves dish soap to clean my makeup brushes. I'm not worried about any residue getting onto my skin. This soap is effective in stripping all of the makeup off, as well as combating any unwanted contamination that may be hidden. Number 7, refresh the air. Let fresh air in daily as much as you can, even in the winter. It beats recycled AC air and keeps your space from feeling stale. Another great way to refresh the air is with essential oil diffusers. We love these. We have a few. We have one in just about every room, more so every area. So we have one in our bedroom that I will fill and turn on for bedtime sleep for our kids as well, and in our loft, our homeschool area, to help with focus and to help calm when the kids are a little bit wild, for downstairs when we want to make the kitchen smell refreshed, for the living room. It makes such a difference, and you have a lot of control of what scent you want to bring into your home and how you want it to impact your mood or your immune system. There's so many options when you're using therapeutic grade essential oils. They are much safer than candles and can not only make your home smell great, but like I said, they offer a long list of therapeutic benefits. Number 8, eliminate processed foods. So this one is a little bit more than just eliminating processed foods, because you're going to want to focus on fresh produce, fruits and vegetables. You're going to want to find whole grains that you like. We actually love white jasmine rice. You're going to want to get organic when possible to reduce pesticide exposure. You're going to read labels. So when you go and grab something off the shelf, even if you're used to having it, read the list of ingredients. Avoid products with long ingredients lists that you cannot pronounce. Any artificial additives like MSG, artificial sweeteners, or high fructose corn syrup. Look for minimal ingredients in terms like 100% whole grain or no added sugars. And if it works with your lifestyle and your schedule, the most ideal is to cook at home, preparing fresh meals from scratch to control ingredients. Start with simple recipes. We keep ours simple even after 10 years because I just found we were buying a lot of ingredients for certain recipes and then it would go bad. Some of the ingredients would go bad because we weren't making the same recipe or using those things. So we just keep it really, really simple. So you're going to want to, like I mentioned, limit processed foods, cut back on packaged snacks, soda, fast food, which contain trans fats, artificial flavors, and preservatives. Replace with natural alternatives, fruit instead of candy, homemade popcorn instead of chips. There are so many different options, but I think it really helps to start with being aware and gaining more knowledge gradually about what you're buying and what to avoid and what can you replace those things with. And it It takes some time, but it is absolutely worth the work and effort. So you're going to also think of your proteins. Opt for pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed meats, wild-caught fish. You're going to consider more of where things come from, how they're handled or harvested. And you're going to be just aware of everything that goes into the process of these foods that we're purchasing and eating, because it really, number one, impacts our health. Okay, those are the top 8 places to start when you are looking into and moving towards a more natural lifestyle. Like I've mentioned, you can pick 1 or 2 and build from there. Focus on progress rather than perfection. And just start. You will never regret investing in your health. I have only touched on these 8 categories, and there are even more things that you can do. But I want to just mention, if you have any questions, because this is new information to you and you would like more information in a detailed area, maybe a specific topic or a specific list of ingredients, or really any question at all, maybe a specific swap that you're not sure but you'd love a recommendation, please reach out. Please put a comment on this video. I would love to help you. I will tell you my personal experience. I'm sure there's lots of options out there. You can look online, but if you want someone to talk to, a human to ask, please put a comment on this video and I would be happy to help you.